really is just immense when you look at this church and you see the extent of the damage. We're going to show you the dome of this church, which really was the focal point and the focus, the attention that it got as a historic property. Without that dome, there just is no more cherished artwork here.
This is going to be a painful thing for a long time. I mean, we're going to have to look at this for a while and see this. The damage, the destruction.
With the smoke now settled, the sheer scope of destruction to St. Anne's Anglican Church is coming into focus, and the heartbreak over the loss of invaluable and irreplaceable artwork.
I hate to say it, I don't believe the artwork. I think it's lost. That's just devastating.
There's no word what caused the fire Sunday morning that tore through the century-old building in a matter of minutes, leaving a burned-out shell where the historic site once stood.
Most churches have a long central nave, and you look just at one end towards the altar. This church is different. The emphasis was very much on the center of the church. So the idea was that when you walked in, your eye was drawn up to the top.
Father, when you would walk into your church, what would you see and what would you feel?
The church was glorious. I mean, even with the lights off, that church was so beautiful, the way the light would peer through the windows. But then to have the artwork of the group of seven, members of the group of seven around, it was incredible. I don't even know how to describe it.
Early paintings by 3 group of 7 members were installed in the 1920s.
A space that is so dedicated to not just architectural design, but also art. And have the gift of some of the group of 7 be a part of that in showing their artistic talent for faith and for the community is such a loss.
Reverend Hannah Johnston reflects on a milestone in her life at St. Anne's just 2 weeks before fire destroyed it. Here, she was ordained a priest.
I've never seen a church like it. It was extraordinary. Once a week, I'd be sitting in there for several hours, just on my own in the space, surrounded by the beauty and the silence, and so it was very special.
So what are next steps? Well, you're sort of looking at the aftermath of this huge fire. Everybody still on scene here, actively working. The Toronto Police have set up an online portal. They're asking anybody in the area for pictures and videos as they investigate. Of course, the investigators with the Office of the Fire Marshal have been here all day. They too investigating, trying to determine, Alan, what were the circumstances that led to this fire. And remember, it just engulfed this building in just minutes. It moved so quickly. And I want to mention that we heard from so many more people here today, parishioners who didn't fit into our report for timing, but had such important and meaningful things to say about how thoughtful their memories are and how much they are going to miss this church and this congregation, but insisting that they do plan to rebuild and continue on.